Lights are low inside the bar. A slow guitar plays soft and deep. Candle shadows on the table, while the restless fall asleep. A gentleman sits in the corner with a glass he barely drinks, watching life through quiet patience. Listen more than what he thinks. There were nights he tried to argue, tried to prove that he was right. But the years have strange ways teaching what is worth another fight. He's a man who chose quiet when the noise began to grow, when the world kept chasing thunder. He preferred the undertow. He's a man who chose quiet, walking slow beneath the stars, leaving pride behind the doorway of 1,000 crowded bars. Time can humble out ambition. Time can bend a stubborn mind, turning restless young believers into men who move with time. Now he listens to the piano like a story in the air. Every note reminds his memory of a man still sitting there. He's a man who chose quiet when the noise began to grow, when the world kept chasing thunder. He preferred the undertow. He's a man who chose quiet, walking slow beneath the stars, leaving pride behind the doorway of 1,000 crowded bars. He steps out into the midnight, street lights glowing soft and gold, and the calm inside his footsteps is worth more than being bold. the candlelight burns low, and a man sits in the corner, watching everything he knows. He don't rush the passing hours, he don't chase the fading crowd, just a gentleman in silence, where the music plays out loud. Years ago he loved too reckless, spoke too soon and trusted wrong. Now his calm is built on patience and the wisdom of the strong. Every glass reflects a story, every chord recalls the past. But a man who learns from silence finds a peace that's built to last. Oh, midnight gentleman tonight, in the quiet amber light, doesn't need to say a word, still his presence can be heard. Midnight gentleman tonight, midnight gentleman tonight, watching life through wiser eyes. Every scar became a lesson, every loss a quiet pride. Soon he'll stand and leave the building, fade into the empty street, like a shadow no one notices, with a calm that feels complete. Midnight gentleman tonight, in the quiet amber light, doesn't need to say a word, still his presence can be heard. Midnight gentleman, midnight gentleman tonight, watching life through wiser eyes. Every scar became a lesson, every loss a quiet pride. The night remembers gentlemen, even when the crowd forgets. Some nights pass like strangers, some nights leave a mark, but every man remembers the night he met the dark, the night that drew the right, without a warning sign. The night he saw the difference between noise and peace of mind. He sat there with the candle, watching smoke dissolve, realizing every battle didn't have to be resolved. The years behind him whispered through the rhythm of the blues. Sometimes losing arguments is how a man can choose. There was a night he understood what silence really means. The calm beneath the surface of the life he used to lead. There was a night he understood what patience really shows. That wisdom doesn't shout, it simply learns and grows. And somewhere in that quiet bar, a different man stood up. Some men shot across a room just to prove they still exist. But the strongest kind of presence is the one you nearly miss. I've been standing in the corner watching chaos pass me by, learning every quiet answer to the questions people hide. Every loss became a teacher, every fall became a map, showing where the road gets narrow and where fools fall through the cracks. So I move without announcement, like the tide beneath the moon. Not every man who's silent is afraid to leave a wound. That's the weight of a calm mind. When the world begins to shake, every breath becomes a promise, every move a choice you make. That's the weight of a calm mind. Not a word you have to say, when your silence holds the power to just quietly walk away. Years from now they might remember how I never raised my voice, but they'll never know the battles that refine my quiet choice. That's the weight of a calm mind when the world begins to shake. Every breath becomes a promise, every move a choice you make. That's the weight of a calm mind, not a word you have to say, when your silence holds the power to just quietly walk away. He had words inside his chest, they never crossed his lips. Something stayed between a heartbeat and the whiskey that he sipped. He watched people come and go, watched love arrive and disappear. But the strongest men in silence learn to carry what they hear. There was someone he once trusted, there was something he once loved, but the night don't ask for answers, and regret has its own cost. So he walks the empty avenue with a calm nobody knows. Some men fight their wars in public, some just let the silence grow. And the things he never said build the man he is tonight. Every secret kept in darkness helped him walk into the light. He don't need to raise his voice, he don't need to make a sound. Some of life's most honest stories never travel past the ground. If you passed him on the corner, you might never understand that 1,000 quiet battles made that steady kind of man. He just nods and keeps on walking through the glow of distant cars, leaving pieces of his history hidden somewhere in the dark. Some truths don't need a witness, they just live inside. inside the heart. Every sinning holding of me are the ones who pass through slow, not the loud or reckless strangers, the quiet men who know. I've been walking through these corners where the past still breathes the same, leaving pieces of my story without leaving any name. You can chase the bright reflection of a life that burns too fast, or you can learn the deeper rhythm of a silence built to last. The night has seen 1,000 souls, but it never tells a lie about the men who kept on moving when the world asked them why. I'm a man the night remembers, even when the crowd forgets. Every step across these streets is a quiet silhouette. I'm a man the night remembers, walking slow beneath the stars, calm where chaos lived in the echoes of these bars. And when morning starts to rise, I'll be somewhere down the line. I'm a man and I remember, even when the crowd forgets. Every step across these streets is a quiet silhouette. I'm a man and I remember, walking slow beneath the stars, leaving calm where chaos lived in the echoes of these bars. The bar is nearly empty now, a piano breathing slow, candlelight along the counter in a quiet amber glow. A gentleman sits in the corner, watching strangers drift away, letting old regrets grow softer as the night begins to stay.
There were years he chased the daylight, trying hard to prove his name. Every argument a battle, every victory a game. This is the silence that built him. Through the nights he walked alone, not the absence of emotion, just the strength he's slowly grown. This is the silence that built him, calm beneath the midnight sky, where the loud men chase their echoes and the quiet men survive. Time has ways of teaching patience through the things you cannot keep, through the promises that faded and the words that ran too deep. Every loss became a lesson, every scar a hidden guide, showing him a slower rhythm of the man he grew inside. Now he listens to the piano like a story he once knew, and the quiet in his breathing feels honest and true. There's the silence that built him. Through the nights he walked alone, not the absence of emotion, just the strength he's slowly grown. There's the silence that built him, calm beneath the midnight sky, where the loud men chase their echoes and the quiet men survive. He stands and leaves the empty bar without a word to say. And the silence walking with him is the proof he found his way. The piano fades into the evening, like a memory growing thin. Candlelight along the counter, lets the deeper night begin. Every chair holds someone's story, every glass remembers pain. But tonight the room grows softer, like the calm after the rain. There's a man beside the window, watching headlights drift away. He's not chasing old tomorrow, just letting time replay all the choices he once questioned, all the words he never said, built the quiet understanding that now lives inside his head. When the room falls quiet, truth begins to breathe. When the room falls quiet, a man can finally see that the loudest roads behind him never let him home, and the strength he needed most was learning to walk alone. Outside, taxis pass like whispers, and the moon hangs soft and low. But the calm inside his chest tonight is something he now knows. When the room falls quiet and the music disappears, a man can hear the wisdom hidden underneath the years. Night has always been a teacher for the men who choose to stay. When the noise of day is over, truth begins to find its way. I've seen pride become a prison, seen ambition turn to dust, but the quiet kind of patience builds a deeper kind of trust. I've lost things I never mentioned, I've survived what I won't show, because every scar is knowledge that a silent man can know. The streets whisper quiet wisdom, every shadow has a voice, telling men who learn to listen how to make the wiser choice. These are lessons of the night, under dim and lonely lights, where the loud begin to fade and the calm is slowly made. These are lessons of the night that a silent man can keep. Truth is life. where the past can finally rest, knowing every quiet lesson turn the boy into his best. These are lessons of the night, under dim and lonely light, where the loud begin to fade and the calm is slowly made. These are lessons of the night that a silent man can keep. Truth is louder after midnight, when the restless fall asleep. There was a time he chased the noise, believed in louder dreams, believed the world would notice if he pulled the hardest schemes. But years of quiet teachers, hidden in defeat, and wisdom sometimes arrives on tired and patient feet. Now he sits beside the window with a drink he barely sips, watching strangers chase tomorrow with restless fingertips. The city spins around him, but he moves at his own pace, because peace is not a trophy, it's a calm you have to face. Nothing left to prove tonight, nothing left to say, just a quiet understanding that he chose a wiser way. Nothing left to prove tonight, under candlelight so thin, the loud may chase attention, but the calm will always win. Just the silent satisfaction of the man that he has made.
his eyes to go. Not from anger, not from weakness, just because he finally knows. Some room never held his future. Some people never change. So he falls a night around him and disappears again. He don't slam the door behind him. He don't leave a bitter word, because dignity is louder than the anger people heard. Every step away from chaos, every mile beneath the sky, is another quiet victory for a man who chose goodbye. A gentleman leaves quietly, no drama in his stride, just the calm of understanding and the truth he can't deny. A gentleman leaves quietly when the story's run its course, 'cause walking out in silence is sometimes the strongest force. Years from now they might remember that he vanished overnight, but they'll never know the reasons that were written in that night. Just another calm departure under streetlights soft and dim, where the city kept his secret and the road welcomed him in. Some goodbyes are whispered to the empty midnight air.
Standing by the alley corner where the neon flickers blue, there's a man with one last cigarette, thinking things he never knew. The bar behind him's getting louder, but his thoughts are drifting far. Sometimes peace begins the moment you walk out of where you are. He once fought for every answer, he once begged the world to stay, But 1,000 quiet mornings showed him there's another way. You don't always win by shouting, you don't always lose by leaving. Sometimes walking out the door is the bravest kind of breathing. One last cigarette tonight under lonely city light. Let the smoke just fade away with the things he couldn't say. One last cigarette tonight while the midnight air is still. Sometimes peace arrives the moment you decide to use your will. He drops the ash and keeps on walking with a calm that feels brand new. One last cigarette tonight under lonely city light. Let the smoke just fade away with the things he couldn't say. One last cigarette tonight while the midnight air is still. Sometimes peace arrives the moment you decide to use your will. Wind slides down the avenue, cold collar raised high. Streetlights stretch long silhouettes under an indifferent sky. Guitar bends like distant sirens, but softer, more control. I've traded reaction for something cold to go. I don't interrupt the chaos, I let it pass me by. Observation builds a kingdom noise can't occupy. Every move I make tonight was chosen hours ago. Impulse lost its influence a long, long time ago. Cold street elegance, measured and refined. No sudden declarations, just a disciplined mind. Cold street elegance, purpose in disguise. The strongest force in motion, rarely advertised. Echo lightly, concrete doesn't care. But I built a reputation with the way I bear. Pressure without spectacle, conflict without flame. Because composure under tension outlives any name. misunderstand me. Let them speculate. Mystery is leverage when you operate. Cold Street elegant, calm in every move. You don't need permission when you have nothing to prove. Just shadows folding inward as I disappear from view. Just shadows folding inward. As I disappear from view. Warm along glow, bleeding soft through the edges of the night. I've drawn plans inside my mind, far from public sight. Every setback became structure, every scar a beam. While they chased applause and credit, I redesigned the scheme. Candlelight reflects precision across a steady gaze. You don't see the architecture built across the years and days. No dramatic declarations, no theatrical display. Discipline became the language I speak without delay. Silent blueprint underneath the calm, framework forged in flame. You won't see it forming, but it's shaping the game. Silent blueprint, quiet design, patience as the key. The loud construct illusions I construct quietly. Every move tonight is anchored to something deeper still. Emotion doesn't lead me, alignment bends my will. The bar grows dimmer by the minute, but clarity grows bright. Some men shine in daylight, others own the night. Glass empty, decision intact, blueprints acute. Smoke hangs like unfinished thoughts. Neon flicker, but I don't. I've been counting what can't be seen. Not the money, but what it means. Trust that doesn't bend or break. Choices only grown men make. I don't argue with the night, I just sit and let it write. Every scar across my hand is a line I chose to stand. The measure worth the noise and fame, I measure mine and what remains. When the room is stripped of pride and there's nowhere left to hide, every loss refined my tone, every fall carved deeper stone. Silence is a currency spent with care and dignity. I don't talk about the climb, I just move when it's time. No announcement, no decree, just quiet authority. Late night deals without a word, respect is felt before it's heard. Eyes that scan, not for fear, but for truth that's standing near. I've seen loud men fade away, burn too fast and decay. I prefer a steady flame, one that doesn't need a name. Whiskey low, collar straight, I don't rush, I calculate. Every breath of chosen pace, every step leaves no trace. You can keep your spotlight glow, I've got places I don't show. Power isn't what you claim, it's what remains without a name. Silence is my legacy, built on self-control and clarity. If you're searching for the throne, I've already built my own. In the quiet I became everything without the fame. No applause when I depart, just a heavier beating heart.
There's something in the silence between each guitar bend, a space where thoughts get sharpened and reactions learn to bend. The bar hums low and patient, glasses softly ring, but the loudest part of any song is not the singer, it's the in-between. I live inside those spaces where emotion doesn't spill, where discipline sits upright and impulse stands still. candlelight paints gold edges on a face that doesn't rush. Some decisions don't need thunder, just a measured hush. Between the notes I move, unseen but aware. The world reacts in volume, I operate in care. Between the notes I choose which battles to decline. Silence is a strategy when timing is refined. From conflict that wanted me to ignite, but fire without direction just consumes the night. A man who governs temper outlives the heated room, because storms that scream the loudest often seal their doom. Listen close, power hides in restraint. The note fades, the silence remains. The note fades. The silence remains. The silence remains. The city hums a distant song. I walk where the forgotten belong. Street lamps glow like memories lost. Every shadow tells a story, every corner the cause. I move through life like a whispered prayer. No one notices, no one cares. I feel the weight of silent storms. I navigate life in unconventional forms. Echoes of the night follow me close. A quiet existence, the world I chose. I act in silence, I speak in deeds. I am the shadow no one heeds.
one hears. The bass is low, the guitar is warm. Subtle drums guide me through the storm. Every step intentional, measured, precise. I roll the dice quietly, no need for advice. I leave footprints in unseen sand. I'm a gentleman, not a man in demand. I move with grace, I move with might. A quiet soul in the endless night, echoes in the night. Follow me close. Echoes of the night, follow me close. Acquire existence, the world I chose. I act in silence, I speak in deeds. I am the shadow that no one heeds. The night holds me, the streets my kin. I move in silence, and I always win.
The bar is dim, shadows stretch along the walls. Candlelight dances over polished wood and glass. Guitar hums warm, analog, inviting. Drums brush soft, a heartbeat I can feel. Segment 2. Reflection. I hold my drink, feeling the weight of unspoken choices. Each thought deliberate, every breath measured. Life moves fast outside these walls. Here time bends slow and deliberate. Segment 3. Observation, patrons laugh, conversations drift and fade. I notice subtleties, gestures, fleeting expression. The world remains oblivious to the intensity I carry. A quiet gentleman moving through shadows of thought.
torch of the bar empties, shadows stretch longer. I rise softly, cold draped footsteps like outside. The city sleeps unaware of me, a man moving in quiet, intense silence. I settle into a chair with a lamp like Baby reaches. The bar around me quiet, alive only in center chromes. Guitar stretches notes like smoke, curling in the air. Drums brush soft, soft as my thoughts. I sip slowly, tasting more than the whiskey. Tasting decisions, weighing consequences silently. No one sees the internal storms I navigate. No applause for the quiet resilience I hold. Candlelight reflects on polished wood, catching my silhouette. A gentleman unmoving yet fully alive in the night. Every glance, every breath calculated, intentional. I exist quietly, intensely, purposefully. World outside roars, but here I am composed. A master of subtlety, moving a loud display. Patrons chatter and fade, music comes low. Eyes orb, I reflect, I measure each internal tide. When the night ends, I rise gently, cold over my arm, disappearing in the streets that know nothing of Presence remains unseen but fair, the life of a man who moves in silence. I walk where eyes fail to see, through empty streets, completely free. The night is thick, the air profound. I move in silence, without a sound. The city hums, unaware of me. I watch, I listen, I let it be. Each movement measured, each choice discreet. A life in shadows, quiet and complete. The invisible man, moving alone through smoky nights, a path my own. No one notices, no one knows the life I lead as the night flows. Guitar hums warm, bass holds the ground. Drums take soft, a subtle sound. Every heartbeat, a note in my song. I move through night, where I belong. No need for eyes, no need for praise. I carve my journey through smoky haze. The streets are mine, the night my friend. I walk in silence until the end. The invisible man, moving alone through smoky nights, a path my own. No one notices, no one knows the life I lead as the night flows. The sun will rise, I disappear, a lone shadow, no one near. Candlelight dances across amber liquid. Guitar hums low, bass flowing beneath. Drums brush softly, a gentle heartbeat. I sit, a quiet presence, observing all. Segment 2, contemplation. Decisions made in private, struggles handled unseen. Every breath deliberate, every thought measured. Life outside rushes, oblivious to my pace. I move in calm intensity, fully composed. Segment 3, observation. The bartender hums softly, wiping a glass. Strangers laugh, smoke curls upward in lazy spirals. I absorb everything without intrusion. A gentleman moving quietly, intensely, deliberately. Segment 4. In a monologue, every gesture reflects careful consideration. Every heartbeat aligns with the rhythm of thought. Candlelight mirrors my quiet resolve. Each flicker a silent testament to inner discipline. Segment 5. Exit. The bar empties, the night stretches outward. I rise, coat over arm, vanish into streets asleep. A subtle presence felt but unseen. A man moving in deliberate, calm silence. Calm silence. The fog rolls in, heavy and slow. I walk where only shadows go. Street lights flicker, the night is mine. Every step deliberate, every move fine. I watch the world from corners unseen, a quiet observer, calm and keen. The city speaks, but I don't reply. I leave no footprints where I pass by. Steps in the fog, I move unseen. A lone man's journey, steady, serene. No one notices, no one knows. The path I walk is the one I chose. Electric guitar hums, bass flows warm. Drums are subtle, guiding through the storm. I take my time, my way, each choice. A quiet existence, a deliberate voice. Through empty streets, under neon glow, I carve my path, soft and slow. Every night a canvas, every step a line. I walk in silence, everything mine. Steps in the fog, I move unseen. A lone man's journey, steady, serene. No one notices, no one knows. The path I walk is the one I chose. dawn creeps in, shadow dissolve. I fade into the city, problems unsolved. You sat where time slowed down, near the back away from proof. No need to guard a fragile crown, no need to chase the truth. Jazz curls softly round his glass, like it had known him long. Some men move built for fast, he moves strong. His hands had learned when not to shake, his eyes had learned to lay. He knew the difference patience makes when stakes are high to pay. He didn't flinch at laughter loud or jealousy nearby. A man who's made his peace with doubt lets moments die. Past sat quiet and beside him, didn't ask for more. He buried it but didn't hide it under the floor. Some men negotiate with fear, some men deny. He learned how to let it sit right here and dry. Presence doesn't shout, it remains. A woman passed perfume and grace, he didn't turn his head. Desire's just another place where discipline goes dead. He paid the tab, he stood up straight, adjusted to the night. Time remembered how to wait till he was out of sight. Time resumed only after he left. Time resumed only after he left.
The city sleeps, but I remain, walking slow through midnight rain. Street lights flicker, casting soft glow. I move with purpose, deliberate flow. Every shadow bends where I tread, every glance unnoticed, nothing said. I watch the world, its noise, its flame.
I take my time, no need for fame. Night's gentle flow guides my way through smoky streets where shadows play. No eyes to follow, no voice to hear. I move in silence, calm and clear. Guitar sings low, bass holds me near, drums whisper secrets only I hear. Every choice intentional, every step mine. I move like the night, deliberate, fine. The world may roar, the city may spin, but I am still letting life sink in. A man in control, unseen and free, walking alone through midnight sea. Night's gentle flow guides my way through smoky streets where shadows play. No eyes to follow, no voice to hear. I move in silence, calm and clear. The dawn arrives, shadows fade. I vanish quietly, the night obeys. I stand still when things collapse. Was the truth revealed? Painted leaf fingerprints, stillness lets you heal. I've seen chaos sell its soul for attention and relief. I chose another road, I chose disbelief. I don't justify my calm, I don't dramatize pain. I learned how to stay warm inside the rain. Stillness is my alibi. I don't run, I don't hide when questions multiply. I let silence decide. No trembling confession, no nervous disguise. I stay in my position and let the lies die. Neon lights accuse the rain, cars whisper by. I watch men go insane, trying to deny. I don't defend my action, I don't rewrite my path. I accept the reaction, let it pass. Stillness is my alibi, no witness, no sound. I don't testify, just stand my ground. No need to offer a defense. I let time fade. Fear sweats, calm breeze, that's how you tell. Truth doesn't plead, it doesn't sell. I don't flinch under fire, I don't bend to demand. I just quietly retire with clean hands. Another hour dissolves, I remain unchanged. Some men evolve by revolt, I evolve by restraint. Stillness is my alibi, that's how I walk free. I don't clarify, I just let them see. If guilt comes searching, it won't recognize me. I was never moving for them to see. Still and untouchable. Still and untouchable. I move like a whisper through the midnight air. Every glance, every movement, precise and rare. The city sleeps, yet my mind is awake. Every step I take is a choice I make. The warmth of the guitar, soft bass line, the drums are subtle, marking time. I carry the night with a quiet hand, a gentleman walking across the land. Night's gentle hand guides me along through empty streets, a private song. No one sees, no one can find the quiet life of a deliberate mind. I observe, I learn, I never rush. Every heartbeat measured, every move plush. I leave only shadow, no one to trace. A life of silence, calm and grace. The world moves loud, but I move slow. Every action considered, every feeling in tow. I am the man who walks the night, a silent force hidden from sight. Night's gentle hand guides me along through empty streets, a private song. No one sees, no one can find the quiet life of a deliberate mind. I disappear into the early light, Smoke drifts upward, catching candle flames. Guitar bells, warm and analog. Grace holds a soft foundation beneath. Drums brush you lightly and whisper in the night. And time in all my Lord, I measure every decision, every glance, holding curse and rule, battles unspoken. Life moves fast beyond this quiet space, but here I'm deliberate, calm, composed. Observation of others, patrons laugh, chatter flows through air. I notice gestures, pauses, hidden truths. The night folds around me like a cloak. I sit fully present, yet unseen. Seven function. Every fall considered, every breath intentional. I'll manage struggles without despair. Candlelight mirrors the steadiness within. I am a quiet force, composed and aware. Segment 5, resolution. When the night ends, I rise, cold draped over on. Step in the streets unaware of my existence. The javelin vanishing into silence, intensely in calm. Out together, unmeasured motion. The night is deep, city wide. I walk where secrets like to hide. Every step deliberate, slow refined. A shadow moving, leaving nothing behind. Windows shine. lie bare. I breathe in the midnight, the smoky air. Every heartbeat, a note in my song, a quiet rhythm that carries me along. Echoes in the dark, calling my name. I move in silence, free of the game. No one notices, no one knows the quiet strain in which I grow. Warm guitar hums, bass holds me near, drums whisper secrets only I hear. I watch, I wait, I act with care, a lone gentleman, unaware. Life is loud, but I am calm. I navigate nights with quiet charm. No one to follow, no one to see. I am the man I choose to be. Echoes in the dark, calling my name. I move in silence, free of the game. No one notices, no one knows the quiet strain in which I grow. The night dissolves, but I remain a shadow walking through the midnight rain. Quiet suits don't beg for space, they occupy it slow. Tailored lines, unbroken face, that's how you know. This fabric holds what I survived, not what I lost. Elegance is staying alive at cost. I don't speak of tired eyes or nights that didn't end. A man who advertises scars has something left to mend. Jazz leans heavy on the room, like truth with manners. I've learned how calm resumes when chaos stands. I don't ask, I decide. There's power in finishing a drink before it finishes you. There's clarity in how you think when you stay true. I leave the bar like I was taught, no open tabs behind. I mastered less than what it bought was time. Quiet suits don't beg, they endure. Walk the empty streets, the city of sleep. Every corner holds secrets I keep. For everything, the lights are low. I'm more like a shadow, steady and slow. Windows glow with lives I don't touch. I pass unnoticed, it doesn't take much. Every glance I steal, every whispered sign, I leave no trace on the silent ground. Veil of night, my silent guide. I move through darkness, nowhere to hide. No one sees, no one knows. I walk in silence with a mystery flow. Bass from steady, the guitar cries, drums whisper light in that night sky. I measure each step, I weigh each breath, a quiet light between life and death. I'm a call when the city roars, smoke drifts slowly, curling through the muted light. Guitar hums in harmony with my quiet mind. Bass flows beneath, anchor in the evening. Drums brush soft, a heartbeat only I feel. I think a choice is made, unspoken victories, struggles handled without announcement or applause. The world rushes past, unaware of my pace. I move with discretion, purpose and calm. Candlelight reflects in my glass, a private stage, yeah. Every flicker a mirror of thought and intent. I breathe, I observe, I measure the night. A gentleman holding composure in every gesture. No one sees the rhythm of my internal world, yet every subtle motion resonates with purpose. The music and shadows guide my careful steps. Each note and breath deliberate, intense, quiet. Patron leaves, I rise, step outside in the streets that know nothing of me. A presence felt but unseen, moving in silence. A man whose life is measured yet free. Nothing personal in his eyes, just clarity earned. He'd learned not every goodbye needs to be burned. The bar had seen him years ago, another man. Tonight he moved deliberate and slow, with a plan. He remembered loving without sense, bleeding to belong. Now he preferred consequence over wrong. Jazz whispered truths he already knew, didn't argue back. Life takes its time breaking you, then gives you track. He didn't blame, he didn't curse, didn't ask why. Acceptance is a quieter verse than rarely tried. He paid attention to the weight of every breath. Nothing rushed him toward his fate or death. Nothing personal, just life. Outside the night held no surprise, just open space. He walked like someone who'd made peace with pace. No grudges folded in his coat, no debts unpaid. A man who learns the final state. Nothing personal, just life.